So with that, tell us a little bit about what is data chaos? What does it mean? And what got you started? What do you see when you felt like, hey, I'm seeing something which needs to be solved and it's not being taken care of correctly? And there's like what was your aha moment to start?
Sure. So, every organization, small, big, large, they have plenty of data.
Yes.
Right? Now, last 20 years, we are trying to solve this problem. We have all these modular technologies that are very powerful and they can be plugged in together to work together, right? But the fundamental question still stays that can Maria in accounting department gets what she's looking for? So that's the foundational problem that we are all trying to solve here. So it doesn't matter how big technologies we have, but the biggest challenge is the complexity. So we have crafted very powerful tools and technologies, but if you see, those technologies need to be assembled together to build a solution. So you need what we call, in a better term, experienced plumbers to plumb them together and make it working. That's one of the biggest bottleneck for most organizations. So what we call it an integration tax, basically.
Mhm.
You spend 40%, 30 to 40% of your budget just activating the different tools and technologies. And then after you go live, you spend majority of your time maintaining those. The biggest challenge is going from the bottom up, thinking about building a massive data warehouse, building a massive clustered infrastructure. That's where we start all the time. But we don't start with a question that what problem that we are trying to solve, right? Well, we moved 5 terabytes of data to Snowflake. So what? So we just got dirty notice from multiple bins and dumped it to one place, right? If the CFO still is maintaining his secret spreadsheet to do his work, right? So that's what is data chaos. So investments are going on. Every organization, they are trying to make sense out of their data, extract insight out of their data. But the fact is that the success is very low, okay? And the 80%, this is what I see all the time, 80% of the users who use data, they are locked out. They can't touch the data. The whole reason is the technology barrier. So imagine in a world where 80% of your user cannot touch their data, what they need, right? So that's the barrier. That's the chaos, I would say.
When you say they can't touch the data, are you talking about like they have access to the data, but they really cannot use it meaningfully that to derive conclusions or to derive insights or projections, right?
That's right.
It's there, but just a blob of junk.
Yeah, it's all scattered, and as we go, data is more and more being distributed. So they need to rely on IT all the time to get the what they need, and often this expensive and it's late before they get. So what business does, they maintain their own secret shadow systems in a Microsoft Access database, spreadsheets. They said, okay, I'm done. I'm enough. I'm going to do it my way. So that's the tribal knowledge that is sitting somewhere hidden inside a laptop, Carol's laptop, right?
Yes.
And CFO used that for his focus, not all the data that he has, right? So that's the biggest question that comes, right? Well, 30 years of investment and innovations, where we still there.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's so much data, but what you're saying is somebody who's built scripts or built some special shadow systems is giving the reports to the CFO, and CFO is like relying on that person saying, yeah, just, hey, I have this thing coming up. Can you build the reports for me? And they're doing it. And the CFO doesn't know what they don't know because they're relying on Carol or, Shyam or whoever that is, who's their, the secret Santa kind of giving the information. But because the CFO doesn't have access to anything more meaningful, they're just hoping that these teams that have those scripts can do something. So like you said, it's a very patch system, but it's...
Yeah, but that's how it works, right? So the other gap is basically business when they get those, nice charts and graphs. So the trust, right? So what we call it a trust code. Okay. So how, as a CFO, how do I know that I can trust these numbers?
Yeah.
Or these forecasts, right? So where from the data is coming, okay, and what's the quality of the data, how the data is being governed. So that's one of the biggest piece over there. And all we are trying to do, we are trying to bolt on different tools like a governance tool, a data catalog, a data quality tool, and trying to patch them up together, hoping that they will work, but they never work
They
together.
never will.